Good evening, friends, followers, and channel members. Hope you've had a great weekend so far. We're going to finish off the weekend tonight flying from Paris Orly to Venice. I am aware that there are issues with the current dev build at the moment for the A320 NX from FlyByWire. Thankfully, we don't have the latest build here, so this one's a couple of days old, which means that it is working. Thank goodness. I'm so glad that that I didn't update. So kind of lucky there. If you have updated and you've got an old one still knocking about in your recycle bin, I think it's time to get it back out again. I'm sure FlyByWire will fix it. They're very good at what they do, and very quick as well. So it shan't be too long before those of you that do have the current dev build, which isn't working, back flying again. So good evening to a Combrig, and was the dev version just updated 20 seconds ago? Oh, well, who knows, they may have fixed it all already. So good evening to Ferran, Monk, Combrig, DC Gert, SB, Martin, Obi-Wan, thank you for joining us, Nick, Ben, Simon, Turgay, and Dark Fury as well. Chalty, great radio music choice. I heard from you today. RD Mans 2 as well. So great to see you all on this Sunday evening. I believe we do have a little bit of air traffic control knocking around as well for our departure out of Paris Orly. Just double checking. I think it's going to be a Paris control that's going to be online today. We do have ATIS, so we've got the latest ATIS information. 1012 information Bravo is current, expect runway 24 departure. So let's go ahead and we'll start getting things on board, including the catering. The catering, just we don't want to fly without some beer on board, do we? Right, so let's hop on board and we'll start powering up the aircraft. Let's get the batteries turned on, and with that GPU now available, we'll get the external power turned on as well. Let's just come in and let me grab the company name, pop that in. There we go. Now we should be able to get all the latest weather. Let's come down here, dashboard, and check that out. Oh, look at the weather currently over the UK. Yeah, that looks pretty accurate from my walk with the dog earlier on. So what do we got? Yeah, there's confirmation of the QNH 1012. Ceiling and visibility is okay. What have we got in Venice? So we've got 12 knot winds, 1017. Ceiling and visibility is okay there as well. Let's have a look at the operational flight plan. Zoom this in, and let's have a look if we've got any bad weather expected in Venice when we get there. A little bit further down. Okay, so that's the current. That's the date today. It is the 23rd, isn't it? 23rd. Ceiling visibility is all okay at the moment. Got the forecast, that's all good. Oh, that's tomorrow. They're expecting lower visibility and rain, so no problems. Looks like we are happy to go with the majority of the fuel that they're asking for. So a total of 6 tons, so I think that should be fine. We can probably just load an extra half ton on top of that, so if we go for 6.5 tons, we'll take a half ton extra. There we go, that should do, and we'll get that underway. There we go. So defueling. Right, let's start setting up. CRV test. There we go. And it is 1, 2, and 3. We'll get the nav lights on. And we can do the engine tests. Engine 1, engine 2, and APU. There we go. I'll leave the fuel pumps turned off and the seatbelt signs off whilst we continue to refuel. So 1012 on the standby, and anti-skid is on. Come down to the pedestal. So let's check the audio control panel. And check we've got the guard frequency as well. That's all good. Switching is fine. Cockpit door is still currently open. Thrust levers are at idle. Engine masters, of course, and ignition is all off. Parking brake is on, and transponder that should be in standby and not on. So. Turgay, yeah, I was hoping to get 1080 today. Have we not got that? I probably need to. I need to go through the settings on Streamlabs. Not sure what's going off with that. So my apologies if that's not in better quality for you. I don't think I can actually change that midstream. Just bear with me 1 second. No, I don't think I can change that whilst we are. Whilst we are mid-streaming. I need to have a little play around with those settings. I'm not sure why it's dropped down actually. I know it's a fresh reinstall of Streamlabs, but let me know if the stream is still showing not as good a quality as we are used to. So apologies for that. Hopefully it won't detect too much from the flight today. What is the frequency we're going to need here? Let me just double check that. So that's going to be 128.1. Are they controlling Paris? Yeah, 128.1. There we go. Good evening, Chris. Good evening, Chummy. Nick as well. Hope you're well, Farah. Yeah, so sadly the performance calculator is out of use, so at the moment everything is just toga until we've got a replacement that we can use. It's frustrating, I know, but sadly nothing we can do about that at the moment. Right, 1012 glass shield, let's get that turned up a little bit as well, shall we? Flight directors 1 and 2 turned on. And let's have a look at the instrument panel. Jago, Orly Tower was online. I think they've just disappeared unless they come back up. No, it's not showing. I think they are still. I think he must have done his shift for the day and finished, or saw me arrive and decided no, I'm disappearing. Oh, James, thank you, and Wayne a few moments ago as well on Facebook. Many thanks for that. Let's get the first officer's displays turned off. Let's have a look then. So we can probably start getting passengers on online. Jetway's connected all up, I believe now, isn't it? Oh, I thought the jetway was connected up. Should we get the jetway connected? Oh, it is connected. Very badly. That's a bit strange, isn't it? Oh well. They're just going to have to leap. So we got IRS alignment in about 5 minutes. Let's come down, start setting the McDo. Information from SimBrief as per usual. So, flight time today, 1 hour 18 minutes and 6.5 tons of fuel. That's good. Right, performance, weights and balance then. I'll tell you what, let me just, I can't remember, have I already popped the operational flight plan into the chat today? I can't remember if I have or not. My apologies if I haven't. Let me just do that. There it is. So that's popped into the chat now on the YouTube chat, so you should all have that now. Right. So let me check this against the operational flight plan that I've just sent you guys. So what do we got? We have 169 passengers boarding now. Payload 17576. Zero fuel weight is 58.6, and zero fuel weight center of gravity. Let's just line that up. There we go. Right, that's all good. Let's load. So that's the aircraft loaded. Okay, onto the data page. IRS still aligning, and LEAP engines out of date AirX cycle to be renewed on Tuesday, I believe. And let's pull the information in. Init request. Casey, good evening. Right, so the alternate today is that Rome, LIRF, yeah. And the call sign today is another Alpine call sign. Easyjet, whoops. Easyjet Europe. And that is, what is the call sign today? 47 Victor Uniform. And it's another real world flight as well. Cost index of 8, flight level 60. Temperature is accurate. And the Tropo 39.8, a little bit lower than that according to the operational flight plan. Let's just change that then, shall we? 37980. There we go. Michael J. Prince, thank you very much. Hope we have a decent flight for you this evening. Captain 79, good evening. Hope you're well. Lewis, does Simmery give you the call sign? I basically give you the call sign that you put in. So, yeah, real world flight, real world call sign tonight. So, we're departing, expect to depart runway 24, and that is going to be the Monarch 9 Whiskey, I believe. Well, that's interesting. Ah, right. So, we had a bit of a problem here yesterday, didn't we? We couldn't get the correct departure in. Right. In that case, let's have a quick look. So we've got the Monarch 8 Papa. Not sure I've even got the right one available, so this is where using Navigraph data would probably have come into its own. Right, so we've got the 9 Whiskey X-Ray Romeo and Quebec, and the 9 Sierra and 9 Yankee. Right, okay. Well, sadly, none of those are showing up for us in the charts, or rather in the McDo. So, unless they've actually changed the name, let's just scroll through, because these should be in alphabetical order. Yeah. Right. In that case, let's just try something. So the Mono 8 Papa, let's just insert that and see what we've got here. This actually looks pretty similar looking at those radials. The 159 radial, and then down to Monarch. I think that might be the same as the one I've got filed, but it's an old version. We can find out. Let's just go to the plan mode, and yeah, that's exactly right. Old name, same route. So fair enough. So I just need to go back and check. So for my information there, we've actually put in our flight plan. We should be taking the 9 whiskey, but instead, here in the sim, we've got the mono 8 Papa. Okay, right, let's erase that, and erase that. There we go. The arrival then, hopefully the arrival will be a little bit easier. So we're expecting ILS 4 right, ILS 04 right Zulu, and that is going to be via the Albert 1 Papa. There it is, Albert 1 Papa. That is going to be via, let's have a quick look. And the Albert 1 Papa is via Lauren. Just check that. Yeah, that's via Lauren, as we can see on the charts just there. We've got those shown. Here it is, the initial approach fix. So we'll pop that in, insert that, and then we'll just do a check. 479 miles. Right, I've got 531 miles, so there's a discrepancy there of about 50 miles actually. So let's just have a quick look at the departure routing. So that departure looks a little bit different, the way that's flown. So what we can do with that departure is fly almost a little bit of raw data. So we'll depart out on runway heading when we're 7.1 miles from the 112.15. We'll then make a left-hand turn, and then that's intercepting the 159 radial, which is down here. So let's go into nav. That's all set. Let's just have a look what the arrival looks like then at the other end. Yeah, and that looks spot on, so the arrival's nicely coded as well. So yeah, departure looks a little bit different from what we've got on the charts, but we'll contact air traffic control as well in a moment, and I'm sure they'll tell us exactly which routing they're wanting us to do. So I'm going to need to pop in the RadNav then to help us with this departure. We're going to need 112.15 in there, and actually no, we're not. We're going to put the Tango Sierra uniform on VOR1, and then we're going to put, just because we need a distance from the POI DME 7.1 miles, then let's pop that in on the right hand side. VOR2 112.15. There we go. And if we turn both of those on now, we should see. There we go. Okay, so RadNav page is set up. Let's have a look at our fuel. So zero fuel weight was 58.6 and 30. Trip wind is a tailwind of 42. That's quite nice for a Sunday evening. Tailwind of 42. We've taken 6.5 tons of fuel. That's got us down at 3.9. Let's just check. Here's that 6.5 tons on there. I'll call it 6.4. Slightly under, isn't it? 6.4. So there's our takeoff weight confirmed. And what have we got to use for our fuel to get to the alternate? About 2 tons of fuel to get to the alternate tonight. So that's quite a distance. So that gives us an extra 15 minutes of flying time. Excellent. Okay, so that's all right. Let's continue then with the performance page. So transition altitude here in Paris Orly is 6,000 feet. It's a noise abatement 1 departure, or as near as, so it's going to be 1,800 feet for thrust reduction, 3,300 feet for the acceleration. Basically, the airport wants you to get up to 3,300 feet as quickly as possible. Engine out acceleration is going to be the same. Flaps 1 for departure, and toga at the moment with no calculator to use. So V speeds, and there we go. All right, so everything is set up. So quick departure briefing. We're parked at stand Papa 13. We'll get clearance presumably to push back, face east, and then taxi via Lima Papa Whiskey 41. We're then going to take off, maintain heading of well, actually, if we just look very closely at 4.1 miles, we then make a left-hand turn, very slight left-hand turn to 4.1. From 4.1 to 235, then at 7.1 to 174, at which point we can then intercept the 159 radial, isn't it? We'll be then direct to Monat. We probably need to pop that in actually if we are going to use a bit of raw data. 159 radial on the RadNav page. There it is. So that's just coded in for that. Okay, so other things to be aware of. Weather here is fine. Aircraft we know cannot do the approach mode for an RNAV approach. Shouldn't matter to us tonight. No times to be aware of. Threats, we've obviously got a slightly different departure routing in store for us this evening compared to what I've got in the FMGC. The initial climb we've not yet been given from air traffic control, so we'll get the rest of that in a moment, but minimum safe altitude is 3,200 feet. If we have a problem with our with anything after departing, we will basically circle back round to the south with ATC assistance and come back in for a landing, and we expect to land on the other runway 25, which is in use for landing at the moment. Right, so with air traffic control, let's just quickly check. So I think 128.1 Paris Centre. Paris Control is controlling Orly tonight, so I need to just double check that, so we'll drop them a message. Paris Control, Alpine 47 Victor uniform on the ground at Paris Orly. Just confirm you're covering Paris Orly this evening.
Alpine 47 Victor uniform for the clearance for Orly. You can contact De Gaulle arrival 121.15.
Over to 12115 for clearance. Thank you very much, Alpine 47 Victor uniform.
Talk to you later.
Right, so we're actually going to Charles de Gaulle, I think it is. 12115. And they will give us our clearance. That's interesting. I didn't know that De Gaulle approach was going to sort that out for us. 12115. Let's give them a call.
Départ, bonsoir, Air France 87 X-ray, on passe maintenant 4000 pieds. Air France 87 De Gaulle, approche, bonsoir, identifié, montez niveau 190. Montez niveau 190, Air France 87 X-ray. Le star unité, réduisez 222. Réduisons 222, Blue Star unité.
Paris Control, good evening. Alpine 47 Victor uniform on the ground at Paris Orly parking stand Papa 13, type A320 Neo, requesting IFR clearance as filed to Venice, and we have information Bravo on board.
Alpine 47 Victor uniform, de Gaulle approach, bonjour, clear to destination, Venice, Vagadi Monot, 9 West departure, runway 24, initially flight level 80 and stroke 5714.
Cleared via departure, runway 24 on the Mono 9 Whiskey departure. Initial climb 8,000 and squawk 5714 for Alpine 47 Victor uniform.
Alpine 47 Victor uniform, correct, report ready for push and stalls.
Wilco 47 Victor uniform, thank you. Okay, so let's get that squawk code in. 5714. Cleared flight level 80 to begin. And it is the Mono 9 Whiskey departure, which is what we expected, so that's good. So refueling is now complete. Let's get the EPU running and the fuel pumps on. Okay, so I've just turned out of control just for a little bit while we sort the departure out. So I'm just waiting for APU to fire up. We can then disconnect the external power, run the cockpit prep checklist, and I think all passengers are now on board for the flight as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on board our Easyjet service. Please place your large bags into the overhead locker, wheels first, and keep your small items under the seat in front of you. These include laptops, handbags, duty-free and loose items of clothing. Once you have safely stowed your cabin bag, please take your seat. To help us ensure a prompt departure, we would kindly ask that you keep the aisle clear, enabling all remaining customers to board. Your seatbelt can now be fastened ready for departure. This is a no smoking service. Thank you for observing this policy.
Excellent.
Okay, so as per usual, just while setting up, I apologise, I'm not monitoring the chat too much, but we'll have plenty of time during the flight to chat. I'm sure of that. All right, let's get everything checked here then. So before start checklist, cockpit preparation is complete. Signs are on and auto. Have we got 3 nav green? Fuel quantity as well, 6.5 tons. Check that's loaded and balanced. Flight management guidance system is set. Altimeter 1012. Okay, I think we're about ready to start pushing back, and that jetway needs to disappear. Let's have a quick look outside, shall we? Okay, so we expect to push back, facing this way, and our departure runway is just there. Nice short taxi this evening. So let's get our pushback clearance.
Identifié.
Departure, very good evening. This is FedEx 1252 on the normal 5 Alpha departure, passing 2000 for flight level 100.
FedEx 4352 de l'approche, bonjour, identify flight level 180.
Flight level 100, buffer, FedEx 42.
To go approach Alpine 47 Victor uniform, parking stand Papa 13 at Orly, and we're ready for push and start.
Standby 2 minutes. Restart, correction plus tard, unité, guidage radar ILS 26 gauche, à gauche 4290, autorise l'approche ILS piste 26 gauche.
Boy, I hope that instruction wasn't for me. I haven't spoken French since high school.
Running 47 Victor uniform, push and start facing east, QNH 1012.
Push and start approved facing east for Alpine 47 Victor uniform.
Running 16 Delta to the destination, Venice via the
So the beacon lights are on, nose wheel steering disconnected.
via the Opal 9 West departure runway 24. Initially flight level 80 underscore 5727.
Thrust levers are idle before start. Checklist, windows and doors are closed. Rotating beacon light is on. Parking brake is on. And lock the flight deck door and we'll begin our pushback.
Standby. Swiss 901 contact Spiral Control 128.1, bye-bye.
128.1, merci beaucoup, bonne soirée, Swiss 901.
Air France 1258, direct et remontez niveau 190.
Direct et niveau 190, Air France 1258.
Sorry, Irish approach with 017, Papa 10 Orly, request push start. Delta 017, check fuel squawk 7, correction 5721.
As they go through the safety briefing, we'd very much appreciate it. So on behalf of myself,
Squawk 5721, reminder 017.
thank you for choosing us.
Action 433 kg, repoussage émission à tourner face au nord, QNH 1012.
We now ask for your attention while we take you through the safety procedures on this aircraft. A safety
Delta 017, vision circle facing
oxygen
east,
masks
QNH 1012.
brace position that you must adopt if you hear
Pushing start approach facing east, QNH 1012, Lufthansa 017.
at the rear, 4 in the middle, and 2 at the front of the cabin.
Air France 1258, écoute.
Guide you to an exit.
En direct des
Please be
soins, on
aware
n'est pas
that
sur un
your
départ
nearest
aigle, je suis
exit
pas
may
sûr
be
qu'on aille
behind
vous
you.
pouvez confirmer.
In an emergency, leave all cabin baggage.
Air France 1258, 0 sur moi, je vous voyais sur un départ évreux. Et pas de soucis, alors du coup, direct de l'aigle.
As shown.
Pas de soucis,
It
direct de
must be
l'aigle pour
fastened when the
1258.
seatbelt signs are on, and we recommend that you keep it fastened at all times. If the air supply fails, masks will drop from above you. Pull a mask towards you to start the oxygen. Put the mask over your nose and mouth. Hold in place with the strap. Pull on each side to adjust. Put on your own mask before helping others. If we land on water, take the life jacket from under your seat.
Heading 16 Delta, I think you have the latest air racks, no problem. You could take the Opal 8 Papa departure out of runway 24.
Do not inflate it inside the aircraft. When outside, inflate by pulling the toggle. If it fails to inflate
No
or needs
problem.
topping up, blow into the tube.
Unité
There
établie
is a light and
ILS
whistle for attracting attention.
unité service, numéro 1 continue l'approche. Numéro 1
Your tray
continue
table must now be
approche.
stowed, armrest down, window blinds open, and seatbelt fastened. We wish you a pleasant flight.
FedEx 435, take contact person for 128.1, bye-bye.
Over to Paris, 128.1, FedEx 452.
Okay, so engine 2 is stabilised, just checking that centre of gravity now, which is 31.9. Let's engine mode select to normal, APU bleed off, anti-ice is not required. Spoilers, rudder, flaps 1, and 31.9. Okay, let's run the after start checklist. So, anti-ice is off. Ecam status is checked. Pitch trim 31.9 and rudder trim is set 0. So just wait for the pushback tug to be clear. And we've got the Lufthansa in front of us. So good evening to all our passengers this evening. Thank you for flying along. And look forward to getting you on a nice flight over to Venice this evening. Connor, good evening. DC, you can translate for me. Great stuff. Okay, we'll just do a flight control check while we're waiting. Full left, full right, neutral, full up, full down, neutral, rudder, full right, rudder, full left. Alpine 47 Victor uniform is ready for taxi.
Alpine 47 Victor uniform taxi, holding point runway 24 via Whiskey 3 Lima Papa Whiskey 41.
Taxi holding point runway 24 via Whiskey 3 Lima Papa and Whiskey 41 for Alpine 47 Victor uniform. So, presumably he doesn't want us to try and taxi around the Lufthansa. Weather's fine, so we'll just get the departure, we'll get the terrain on. Ah, there's Lufthansa. Is that Dark? Is that Dark Fury that's doing that?
Left on Lima Papa and Whiskey 41. Hold runway 24 via Lima Papa Whiskey 41.
Okay, so performance change, current QNH is still valid 1012. It's going to be a Toga takeoff. Engine out on departure. We'll get ATC guidance, but essentially fly down the south of the field, come back, land. Expect to land on runway 25. Departure doesn't quite match what we've got on the FMGC, but that's okay. We're going to use a little bit of raw data flying just for something a little bit different for that. Stop altitude is flight level 80, and there goes the Lufthansa. So let's begin. So before takeoff checklist, flight controls are checked, departure briefing is confirmed, flap setting is config 1. FMA and takeoff data then is 132 blue, 137 magenta, climb nav blue, 8000 blue, 1 FD2, and it's a Toga takeoff.
From Whiskey 41, clear for takeoff, runway 24, Lufthansa 017.
So where are we at the moment? We're currently on Whiskey 3. Essentially we can just follow the Lufthansa, can't we?
Alpine 47 Victor uniform behind Lufthansa A320 departing traffic, light up runway 24 and wait behind.
Behind the Lufthansa A320 departing traffic, line up and wait runway 24 behind Alpine 47 Victor uniform.
Approach Ascot 1 with you passing 4,000 feet, going to flight level 100.
Ascot 1 de Gaulle approche, bonjour, identify, climb flight